Me when a woman from a dating app seems kind, intelligent, well-adjusted and emotionally available.
It's a trap!
Me after beating my 6-year-old nephew at arm wrestling.
Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
And this is mice when they see a piece of cheese on the floor on a very small wooden board.
It's a trap!
Hello guys, welcome back. So 3 great Fougere fragrances under £100 in price. These are amazing Fougere fragrances, and nowadays, you know, things are getting really expensive in the fragrance world. So under £100, which equates to approximately $130, is a very accessible fragrance compared to some of the really expensive ones. So, you know, things that I've recommended before on the channel, which I love, like MDCI's Invasion Barbar, great Fougere fragrance, well over the £100 mark, like double and more. Fougere Royale used to be just kind of under that price at retail, and it's now well over it. From Houbigant, great fragrance too. But we've got 3 really nice ones today that are under that price tag. Before we do that, don't forget, if you're looking to buy fragrance samples, my recommended place in the USA is the Fragrance Decant Boutique. That's decantboutique.com. My code MrSmelly10 will get you 10% off across a stunning range of scents. And my recommended UK-based fragrance sampling site is Fragrance Samples UK. That code MrSmelly10 also works at fragrancesamplesuk.com across their huge range of fragrances. Both sites linked in the description of this video. Okay, here we go then. So, the Fougere fragrance, in case you're unfamiliar, the word Fougere means fern-like. Ferns do have a slight smell, but not a very strong, recognisable one. But it was first conceived back in 1880-something by the house of Houbigant with their Fougere Royale, and it's now recognised genre and very popular one. It was particularly popular around about the sort of 60s, 70s, 80s in men's fragrances, but it's got a real following, including from yours truly being one of the millions out there who love these fragrances. Okay. First of all, we're going to go with the Tom Ford one. So this feels like kind of a niche fragrance. Tom Ford, it's kind of a designer brand, but they have a niche range. It used to be a private blend. I don't know if the formula changed, but they now have it in their so-called designer range. And if you just go for the 50ml, it just sneaks in under there. This is Tom Ford's BEAU de Jour, £93.99. I found it online in the UK for that price. And it's an absolute beauty. It's a real classic BEAU de Jour. So the note listing for this one, you've got lavender, rosemary, oak moss, mint, basil, geranium, patchouli and amber. So typically in a Fougere fragrance, you're definitely going to be looking to see lavender and oak moss probably on the note listing. And a lot of them will have tonka in there too. And this probably has that coumarin. I think that's the extract of a tonka bean in there. But they don't always list everything that's in the formula in the note listing, if you get what I mean. This one is... you definitely get a hint of that lavender. These green kind of herbal accords. You've got the mint, you've got rosemary and basil. It's a bit like you're making a salad at home, really, isn't it? And then it's got this little bit of rugged depth there with the patchouli and the amber. It's really, really nice. It's a classic textbook aromatic Fougere. It is dapper. It is gentlemanly. It smells really high quality. It has a clean, reassuring, manly air, classy, sophisticated, excellent fragrances. And everyone that I've asked about this one, the few people who will speak to me in this world in a friendly way, have said if I've asked them how this one smells, they really like it. So go for Tom Ford's BEAU de Jour if you're looking for something luxurious, quite expensive, but just under that £100 mark for the 50ml. Really good choice. Okay, if we want to go something a little bit less well known in terms of the brand, let's go for Rogue. Let's do this one now. Rogue Perfumery Bon Monsieur, £89.95. I think you can get the 50ml online. I found I've got the slightly larger one here. Anyway. This is a great fragrance. The perfumer Manuel Cross, based in the USA, an absolutely fantastic perfumer, specialises a little bit in these kind of old school fragrances. And again, this is a textbook Fougere. Lavender, bergamot, fir balsam, geranium, oak moss, carnation, lily of the valley, cedar, patchouli, sandalwood and musk. And this one... there are similarities, of course. It's hard to do. How do we describe them and make them sound really different? This one, a little bit sharper and greener. It's drawn comparisons to things like Gucci's Nobile, back from the 80s, a real classic Fougere, which is now really hard to find, discontinued, which was a brilliant fragrance. It's green, it's bitter, there's a little bit of sharpness in there, but it also has this balance of the smoothness coming from sandalwood, and that patchouli note is not it doesn't have to be in a Fougere, but all 3 of today's ones have it, and it adds a certain something, a very distinctive aroma from that green leaf. Bon Monsieur Rogue Perfumery, absolutely amazing and a pretty decent price. Okay, finally, you'll have to forgive me, but I am going to plug my own brand. So we're going to talk now about Gravitas Pour Homme, which I've left over there. That was clever. Prat. Okay, where is it, you fool? Hopeless. Okay. Where were we? Sorry. And finally, we have Gravitas Pour Homme. Now, you'll have to forgive me. It is the brand which I co-founded. We don't think of it as a YouTuber brand. It is a brand in its own right, but I happen to be the co-founder and co-owner of this brand. This was our first release, Gravitas Pour Homme. At the moment, we have this available in the UK for the ridiculous price of £70, including postage. We have just restocked a whole load of all our fragrances, which are on their way to the USA. So everything will be back in stock everywhere very, very soon. And our fifth release, an amazing scent, which I'm covering up the name of, is on the way too, and that is an absolute slammer. Stay tuned. Gravitas Pour Homme, though, 2020 release, and the perfumer behind this one was the esteemed and illustrious British perfumer John Stephen, who's made incredible fragrances for brands like Check and Speak, and also Boudicca, the Victorious, very versatile, because those brands have quite a different kind of ethos about them. The note listing for this fragrance is bergamot, lavender, mandarin, coriander, cardamom, pepper, patchouli, oak moss, ambergris, and vanilla. So again, the lavender and oak moss are in there. There are bitter green accords with the bergamot, and it's got a little bit more spiciness and a hint of powdery sweetness, which we wanted in there to give it a slightly, perhaps you could say, oriental fougere vibe. And it's absolutely amazing. A little bit less of an obvious quintessential fougere and a twist on the fougere genre from the masterful hand of perfumer John Stephen. Hugely popular. We've had great success. Don't miss out. For just £70, it is my brand, of course, so take that into account, but I don't feel at all any qualms about saying of the bunch, this is ridiculously underpriced, and that can't last very much longer. We will be upping our prices to a level that reflects the quality and is on a par with other brands offering similarly great fragrances. So Gravitas Pour Homme, don't miss it. It is an absolute beauty. And if you want one more option there from Norton & Wilson, Gravitas Essentia is our magnificent follow-up from last year, 2023. Same note listing, but with the addition of notes of mint, artemisia and bay leaf. And I don't think pepper's listed as a note, so it's a little bit different. It accentuates here the citrusy and green elements of the fragrance, so you could think of it like a Gravitas Eau de Sport. This one's still great price, £95 for 100ml in the UK, and there's even a bundle deal where you get that with Gravitas for just an insanely low price. In the USA, this will be restocking really soon. So those both linked in the description of this video. This is a superb fragrance. These are all amazing, niche quality, high level, classy, gentlemanly fragrances under the £100 mark, which in today's inflating market for fragrances is getting rare and is really good. So check them out. Let me know what you thought about that in the comments down below. I will see you in the next video. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. And although sometimes life can stink, at least we can always smell good, right?